Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Scorpio June 2022 reading and predictions. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James. For those of you who are stopping by for the first time, and for the subscribers, well, you know how much I love to see you. I really enjoy doing these readings for you, I must say. It's great to see you back. I appreciate you stopping by. Now, while I'm pulling these cards, we might just talk about some of the general astrology, which can set the framework for things that are going on in the heavens. I use a lot of astrology in the tarot readings as such. Some of you may be looking at this in May, and some in June. So let's just talk about some of the more general things happening in the heavens in May and June. At the start of May, then what we find is that Mercury stations direct in Gemini, which is its own home. So you will find that, or will have found that. You would have had the ability to communicate very easily, to be able to analyze problems, to move between people and resolve disputes and things like that. What we do also find is that in May, that on the 13th of May, the great benefic Jupiter moves from out of Pisces and goes into Aries, the cardinal sign of fire. And that's on the 13th of May. And what's interesting is that at the end of May, on the 27th, Mars ingresses into Aries itself, and that's its home sign, of course, and then Jupiter and Mars come into conjunction with one another. What's also interesting is that Venus spends most of the month in Aries as well. So you have the two great benefics, Jupiter, Venus, together in the sign of Aries, and it's joined by Mars in its own sign. So this speaks, I think, of, in general terms, structurally, the ability for some prosperity to come about, some abundance to come about, for gain. I think you'll also have the desire, or will have had the desire, to do things by yourself, to go it alone with respect to things, and just to take matters into your own hands. I think that what then happens in June is that, of course, Mercury always, a few times a year goes into retrograde, and does that during the period as well in May. But then when beginning of June, it then stations direct at the beginning of the month, it stations direct in Taurus. Let's see what these cards are while we're at it. There's a Six of Swords. I love that card. Yeah, stations direct in Taurus. Now, the astrologers will tell you that Mercury retrogrades can cause plans to go astray, miscommunications to happen, and what have you. That may well be the case. However, that beautiful planetary energy that was going on in May, I think myself limits that, or will have limited that, I think that you'll have found. But what's interesting is, though, that even though Mercury is then stations direct in Taurus in June, it is square Saturn, which is sitting in Aquarius. Now, Saturn is the malefic planet, they call it. Slow, heavy, dense. And so what you might find is that in June there is something of a retrograde hangover, to put it, if I can use that term, where ordinarily one might expect things to start moving along, they can take some time to do that because of that square which is happening with Saturn. But Mercury is pretty quick, and then it moves out of it. And it then moves back into its own sign of Gemini, where it's well at home. And while it's doing that, it then becomes sextile, which is a very beneficial angle. As you will probably be aware, it goes sextile with Jupiter, and then it goes sextile with Mars. And so anything that was delayed by the retrograde, or any plans or communications that got run, there's a King of Pentacles, they should start moving quite forward. But there's the Ace of Wands. Gee, this is all stacking up really well for you. But we shall see what's in store for you now. There's the World. I love these cards. And see what there is here. And there's the Four of Swords. Gee whiz, what a great set. I'm not going to give it away yet, because I want to look at, together with you, some of the actual interesting symbology that's here on these cards, as well as the imagery together, which we'll have a look at together. So come and sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the cards, and I'll do the reading for you. Now, incidentally, if you would like a clairvoyant reading with me from anywhere in the world, just check out the information that's in the description box below. But now, let's have a look at... We should probably start... Oh, there's a major arcana. Let's have a look at this. Well, there's a lot of symbology in this, so strap in. Let's have a look here. A lot of this stuff is going to tell... See, the symbology on these cards will give you a very good insight as to what is going to be happening to you in this month as we go through this symbology together. Well, here what we have is we have a tree which creates a wreath around the woman and a dove. Now, just the dove might be difficult to make out. There's its head, there's its eye, and it goes around this way, and that's its wing going around to there. Now, the tree symbolizes the tree of life. The wreath for you symbolizes victory, and within the wreath is the medicine wheel of life, always cycling and changing, reminding you that life, death, and rebirth are part of your world. Now, there are 3 rainbow lotus blossoms. You see them there? Now, each represents a cycle in your life, and each offering a gift from which to learn. Now, there are, I'm just looking through there, 22 yellow lotus blossoms, and they represent the 22 major arcana of the tarot, I suppose. With their lessons and with their journeys. Now, the white lotus that's at the top here, that holds a nest with 3 golden eggs in it, and that symbolizes the rebirth of mind, body, and spirit. Now, the tree is ancient, and its trunk has grown into the universal spiral of creativity. Now, inside the wreath, there is energy that's flowing around continuously with the elements of earth, water, air, and fire all in balance. And the woman holds the earth tenderly, doesn't she? She understands that she and the earth are one. And the dove caresses the woman and the earth, symbolizing that there is a deep, pure, healing love that surrounds you when you understand what your connection to everything really means. Now, this woman has 7 little star things there, which are the 7 chakras above her head, symbolizing that she is attuned to her higher self. What else is going on in here? Oh, that little thing there. That is, and that's a dragonfly. I'll get to that in a second. These hummingbirds are interesting here. I think those hummingbirds around her symbolize the joy that comes from feeling connected, and that dragonfly guides you through the mists of illusion to the pathway of magical transformation. Now, as for these butterflies, which are flying out from the center and the inner circle, they symbolize the transformation that continually takes place in your life on many levels. Now, turtles are down here. What do they represent? Well, I think that they represent Mother Earth, because the sea turtle lives most of its life in the ocean, doesn't it? But it comes to land when she lays her eggs. The lesson is that we all come to Earth to gestate and grow. The sea turtle and butterfly live in their elements, water and air respectively, but they are always connected to the Earth. Now, this kind of indigo violet square that's in the background there, that square shape, I think that represents matter. And the circle of the tree itself represents spirit. The combination of the two symbolize unity, which is the ultimate goal of your journey. And this starry background, which is up here, I think that is your endless universe of possibility. Now, you are always on a journey. Some are small and some are very profound, but you always arrive at a completion, don't you, with lessons learned. Now, some things change and some things remain the same. Hopefully, you come out with a deeper understanding about yourself, others, and the world. With the world, you become closer to yourself and your world community. You become a world citizen, in a sense. The lessons of this energy are to bring your physical, material life into balance with your spiritual truth by learning to control and harness energies, desires, reactions, or moods that just don't support you. Separateness leads to stagnant energy and unfulfillment. You realize that you are in charge of creating happiness in your life, don't you? When you integrate your experiences and lessons into your life, your personal vision expands on the horizon of new realizations. By seeing, embracing, and exercising your full potential, you add to the world and to the universe itself, it's true, in a way that nobody else can. Recognize the inner spirit that supports you. Be an initiator, not an imitator. Cut through personal limitations and fears. Be committed to growth and evolution. The world in each of us and the world around us are one. Do you understand? Our commitment to our personal evolution reflects our feeling and attitude towards the greater whole and where we are on our path to the source, your ultimate goal. This energy brings the gifts of fulfillment, achievement, integration, and wholement, healing, feeling engaged in life, wanting to be of service, feeling grateful, and embracing the beauty of life. This energy brings opportunity for travel. It brings an appetite for independence and freedom. Something that you have worked hard on is about to be completed, bringing new horizons, ideas, and beginnings. And it also brings with it a sense of achieving one of the stepping stones in your destiny. Now, there was an interesting card that kind of says that as well in a sense, but far more emphatically, it's the central energy. And I just need to state simply what it means for you. And simply this is here we're in this image of the Ace of Wands. A single wand emerges from the golden clouds. The Kundalini energy shoots up from the base, exploding, fiery, passionate creation that refuses to be contained. It symbolizes the birth of light, penetrating darkness. Now, the Ace of Wands awakens the spirit, really, and your spirit, kindling your passion to focus on new possibilities. That's what this was talking about as well. And for you to focus on creating things. Its intense light shines on the portal of deep wisdom and intuition. Now, when this card enters, it brings new beginnings, insights, adventure, and advancement. The Ace of Wands ignites transformation, spiritual truth, confidence, and physical strength. You are channeling powerful energy that brings vitality, courage, will, and eagerness to launch new concepts and projects. When you align with your personal power, your fire, and align with the energies of the divine, then confidence and strength become your allies. And the Ace of Wands brings a new start, good health, maybe the birth of a child. You may hear of a pregnancy here. There's new ideas coming about, new business ideas, new projects. It certainly symbolizes for you during this period the explosion of creation. Now, looking down here, we have this Four of Swords. This looks quite interesting. What does this have to say? Well, here, I probably don't need to use that pen. Here in this image, a young man rests in the dream lodge of peace. And he does hold a medicine pouch, though. I will point that out. He's holding a medicine pouch of personal sacred treasures. Now the three bears, see, I can't resist it. I've got to point things out. Now the three bears are the guardians of the lodge. Do you know, bears symbolizes introspection. In the pond below, down here, swims the salmon of wisdom and inner knowing. Now the four downward swords, 1, 2, 3, 4, they are embedded in the trees surrounding the lodge, symbolizing time out from the world. The swords represent integrating the 4 levels of consciousness: mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. And this stormy night, it looks like snow out there, that symbolizes the chaos of life which you leave behind. Now, based where this card is, underneath this King of Pentacles, which I'll get to in just a moment, but opposite the World card here, this represents a time out from the daily pressures and difficult situations, with a need to seek a place of peaceful seclusion for solitude and regeneration. Now, when life's disturbances become overwhelming, you become, well, you can, can't you, become disarrayed and exhausted, creating stress with the mind, body, and spirit. But through rest and meditation, you can release the unrest, regenerating your inner spiritual strength, bringing clarity to your thoughts and healing your body. Once you allow yourself to relax, a stillness descends, bringing introspection, looking within yourself, allowing the ego mind to calm and meet with the inner realm of the self. At this point, you are presented the opportunity to reflect and reassess the situations or the issues that are causing you anxiety. Now, when this card enters in the position that it has done, honor and recognize when you need quiet time. Are you feeling stressed, overworked, or in a difficult situation with no solution or insight? Is your energy draining away and not being replenished? Well, the Four of Swords signals a time for recuperating and healing. The Four of Swords tells you, withdraw, quiet the mind, reevaluate things, and be open to possibilities that you have not even considered. So go within, explore, think about things. But don't dwell on things, if you know what I mean. And renew your spirit. Step back into the world of life regenerated with the confidence and a new outlook. Sometimes just a little nap or a short walk outside will do the trick, you know. But if you can, maybe think about planning some sort of a restful vacation. Even call in sick and have a day off. Just don't tell anybody that I told you to do that. Create a safe, maybe go to a spa even, if you're about that, if you can afford it. But create a safe, comfortable place to retire, giving you space to relax, to think about things, and to recharge your energy. Yeah, I think that's really what's on, well, literally on the cards for you this month. So let's look now at this Six of Swords. Gee, this King of Pentacles is coming up. I'll do this one quickly because that looks like it's got a lot of symbology in it. But this one here, just to deal with it for you. Here we have a traveller sleeping in the orca-shaped canoe. The traveller is wrapped warmly in a sealskin. Now the two orca, now my 19-year-old daughter, who assures me that she knows everything, tells me that orca are actually dolphins, which I did not know. Now, they are guiding the canoe through the cosmic portal of transformation to new shores of insight and perspectives. Orca symbolize the guide and the protector who created the portal where you can return to your inner home of cosmic memory in the soul, awakening you to yourself. Now, what's good also here is that the sun shines over the horizon, signaling a new beginning, and the six swords shoot out into the starry universe, presenting expanded awareness. And this large, you can make it out here, this spirit orca, otherwise known as killer whales, I think, aren't they? The orca in this night sky symbolizes peace and freedom. Well, this Six of Swords is talking about you stepping away from difficult situations, which is not surprising given the previous card, cutting through illusions and fixed perspectives, moving into the truth, I think, viewing life from a clearer perspective. See, this work that you're doing is paying off. Now, whatever difficulties you have experienced, whatever charge it had for you, the conflict is now leaving. Now, you may have felt defeated and depressed, but remember, those feelings came from outgrown perspectives and attitude that needed to be shifted into a higher way of thinking. Now, this card brings you to a safe place where you can pick up the pieces of your life. The Six of Swords represents getting stronger mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It can signal relocation and moving. I think, didn't we see that here somewhere before? Your life is now moving in a positive direction. The tides of life are always shifting between the polarities of positive and negative energies. But your job is to stay centered, balanced, while flowing with the rhythm of evolution. Sometimes we can get lost out there, but this Six of Swords brings you back to your inner home. Then that takes us, does it not, to the final card? Yep, being this gentleman here, this King of Pentacles. Hello, King. You're very splendid there. Splendid indeed. Well, here he is sitting on his tree throne. He is flanked by two bears, isn't he? And the two bears symbolize the connection to feminine energy of Mother Earth, the goddess energy, also introspection. What the native Australian Aboriginals would call dream time, and also a connection to the intuitive sides. Now, this king's emerald crown embodies focus, healing, wisdom, and intuition. Now, at the front of it, you may see there are three golden spirals that represents the triple goddess. And there are two eagle feathers that he's using here as decoration. And they bring expanded vision to you. Now, the sun, which is coming up behind the king's head, that portrays the fire of spirit feeding your life force. On the king's chest, there is the pentacle, meaning 5 points, the pentacle star, and that expresses humans living on earth in balance with peace and grace. Now, as green is the color of love and life, his gown signifies growth and harmony, I think, and also of healing. And the stars, which are on his arms and on his torso there, they reveal all the magical possibilities that life has to you at the moment. Now, the king holds a tree of life, or a world tree from Norse mythology that Odin hung upside down from over the well of weird for for a long time, 14 days and nights, I think it was, so that the runes finally appeared to him. But anyway, this world tree or tree of life shield here, that's an ancient, universal symbol of the interconnectedness between nature, humanity, and the heavens. Now, this unicorn that's down here, what would that be? I think that, well, first of all, it's sitting at the king's feet, and it caresses that shield. And I think it epitomizes that the spiritual gateway to the higher realms of the divine can be reached by you. The magical spirit of the unicorn brings creation to the world of matter. Now, the King of Pentacles for you really is an avatar, a real strong personification of abundance and prosperity in the physical realm. His success and his wealth comes from his strong focus and commitment. When he sets his mind on a goal, it will happen. Now, he is a strategic thinker and planner with high standards, and as well as understanding the law of universal timing. The King of Pentacles is a stable, trustworthy, wise person whose heart is generous, supportive, and open. He is a strong and confident leader. He has created, I think, a safe and flourishing kingdom surrounded by beauty that is full of opportunity. Now, when this king turns up in this position up here, above this Four of Swords and diagonally opposite the world, he indicates that it is a time of success and prosperity. Maybe a small inheritance might be coming your way. You will accomplish something. You might get a promotion in something. You're going to work something out. There could be some financial gain or something of value coming your way. The king brings good health and physical recovery from illness. But he does ask you to listen to your body. Do your diet or personal habits need attention? Now, your home and environment at this time become very important to you, so spruce them up. You may have had an impulse to create a beautiful, serene, and welcoming home, wanting to remodel perhaps, or landscape, get out in the garden at this time of year. The King of Pentacles inspires you to get out into nature, to breathe the air and take in all its beauty. He reminds you that working with the earth's soil grounds scattered energy and brings peace to the soul. The king can represent a physician, a doctor, so there may be medical thing or need to see a doctor around here, or a counselor or advisor of some description, someone that you can trust anyway. He symbolizes talent and interest in the naturopathic, the homeopathic, and the medical fields. You may find interest in the medical remedies of plants and herbs. The king's message is to find harmony in all facets of yourself, and you will find abundance and well-being. What a particularly interesting spread of cards for you. That's the way it is this month. That, my dear friend, is your reading for June 2022. I love doing readings for you. Did I mention that before? I really do. I'm always excited to be doing it, and I'd love to see you. And if you're here for the first time, welcome, and I hope to see a lot more of you. Subscribers, thank you very much for being with me all this time. I really enjoy your company. Drop me a note in the comments and we can see how we're all doing. But in the meantime, remember this, and remember it always, and it is that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.